On BBC One, the Football League Show with Manish Bhasin.
Evening, welcome along to the best from the N-Power Football League after yet another week dominated by managers on the move. Paul Jewell and Dougie Freedman, of course, the latest to go, which takes this season's tally to an incredible 13, and that's almost double this time 12 months ago. Well, Steve's here to cast his expert eyes over the latest events up and down the country. Here's what else we've got for you tonight. They're two ambitious clubs with realistic prospects of automatic promotion, but they share the same problem, lack of consistency. Today we find out which Blackpool and Brighton sides would turn up at Bloomfield Road. It's looking increasingly like another season of struggle is in store at Ashton Gate. We've all the action from today's late kick-off as Bristol City met Hull City. And we find out whether the leaders of Leagues 1 and 2, Tranmere and Gillingham, could bounce back from their defeats in midweek. Now, despite a hugely encouraging start to the season, Blackpool's attempts to go one better in their bid for promotion seem to have hit the buffers in recent weeks. 1 win in 6 seems to have exposed a defensive weakness, with goals drying up at the other end. Well, earlier today they hosted Brighton, a club who found themselves in a similar situation. Here's Steve Wyeth.
Two of the early pace setters now finding their seasons in desperate need of a jump start. Both led the table before autumn descended, but have mustered just a single win in 11 matches between them. Blackpool and Brighton now languish in mid-table, the promise of those fledgling weeks consigned to memory. Elliot Grandin's first start in 10 months is one of 3 changes for Blackpool. Kirk Broadford makes his home debut, and Angel Martinez also comes into a side that was denied victory by a last-minute Nottingham Forest goal in midweek. Brighton have lost 1-0 twice in the last 8 days and make a single change to the side beaten by Leicester. Dean Hammond replaces Gary Dicker in the midfield. Stephen Dobby, who had 2 successful loan spells at Blackpool, is on the Brighton bench. Now here's Ince up against the lap, skips past him, it shoots left-footed, comes off for Kuszczak, and then Phillips turns the rebound over the bar, although Kuszczak may well have got a touch on that as well. Super little lofted pass from Taylor Fletcher to release Ince in the first instance. Past elapsed comfortably, and Kuszczak just getting something on the follow-up from Matt Phillips. Blackpool corner. Headed goals and just wide. Taylor Fletcher unmarked at the near post. So close his side to breaking the deadlock. Well, they were still deciding who they were going to mark, the Brighton defenders, as Taylor Fletcher ghosted towards the near post. Still coming, Blackpool. Broadfoot. Grandin, Broadfoot again. Another real chance, and it's Baptiste, the centre-half in the opposition's 6-yard box, not quite able to get on the end of it. Grandin has found Baptiste. Baptiste from long range, just over. Well, Kuszczak was scrambling, probably not expecting a centre-back to unleash a shot of such fury from 25 yards. He drove it goalwards, Alex Baptiste. Gail Smith into Crofts. Broadfoot hasn't quite got it back to Gilks, and what a chance! And what a mess from Blackpool to gift Ashley Barnes the opening goal. After all the Blackpool pressure, a horrific misunderstanding has given the visitors the lead. They've soaked up so much pressure, Brighton, but the flick on from Michael Smith caused confusion. Broadfoot and Gilks got their communication all wrong, and with Crofts providing the pressure, Barnes with the easiest job of the afternoon so far. Blackpool 0, Brighton 1. Phillips, easily away from Bruno, pulling it back, Grandin, inside the area, Grandin, shot, chance! Oh, somehow, over the crossbar from Tom Ince. What a chance! He can't believe it. Should be 1-1. Phillips with the pace to get away from Bruno. Grandin's goal-bound effort deflecting to Ince, and he couldn't react quickly enough to keep it down. The goal was at his mercy. Craney. Great cross. Brilliant defending from Adam El Abd to deny Ince what would have surely been a tap-in. Grandin's corner. Will come off a Brighton head. Yes, it did. It will be another Blackpool corner. They've had plenty of them. They've just not been able to make them count. Phillips this time with the set piece. Deeper. Headed down. Chance. Oh! Slipped. Delfonso, the substitute, with an unbelievable opportunity. Phillips in the cross, another chance, and finally a goal for Blackpool. Grandin with the equaliser. It is no more than they deserve, but you were just starting to wonder whether it would come. The quality of the delivery, hugely inviting. Phillips with it, and Grandin unmarked with his third goal in as many appearances. And he has rewarded his manager with the equalising goal. Blackpool 1, Brighton 1. Grandin. Again, goes for goal. Oh, brilliant save from Kuszczak. Nearly 2 in a minute for Elliot Grandin. Phillips corner, another good one. Oh, over the bar. It was Evatt at the back post under real pressure. Ian Evatt couldn't keep it down, and look at the frustration from his manager. Oh, Phillips gets in behind Bridge. Pull back from Phillips. Oh, not dealt with. Delfonso. Second clear-cut opportunity since he's come on as a substitute, and for the second time he's not been able to take it. Kuszczak with the save, but Delfonso should have given him no chance. Michael Smith helping it on. Buckley's cross. Michael Smith goes for the spectacular, and Gilks, a spectator for so much of the contest, produces the save. Involved from that moment, getting the return via a deflection to Buckley. Gilks alert to make the save. Delfonso, good run. Again though, El Abd read the situation and was strong enough to deal with it. Corner taken short. Brighton perhaps just caught unaware. Angel fires it in! Another wonderful stop from Kuszczak. Can't have seen a great deal of that. They were just caught napping from the short corner, Brighton. There would have been an awful lot of shirts in front of Thomas Kuszczak as he had to make that save. It was heading inside the post.
the effort was there, desire was there, quality was missing today. So it's a good point for us.
Played well. That's all you can ask. That's how it's been going lately. I thought we showed a bit of character again. I thought we showed some great movement, great belief in ourselves, and missed a few chances, unfortunately, which is what happens in football a little bit if you've had a bit of a sticky patch. But we only needed one of them to go in, then we go and shoot ourselves in the foot with a calamitous goal to give away. But after that, you know, it just shows my lads and what they're about.
A little bit of a tussle with Baptiste, the defender, on the touchline. You offered your hand to him at the end, and he wasn't willing to take it. What was your reading of that situation?
Ask him. I mean, I feel sorry for him because you know, when it's depending on when you pick and choose, you know, and it looks like he's the type of person that when it's good for him, he will do something and shake hands. When it's not very good for him, he can do what he done. But I'm not bothered. I'm going home nice and relaxed.
Yeah, so Gus Poyet left scratching his head after Alex Baptiste's reaction. We're not quite sure why. We didn't see much that went on in the game, did we, really? But Blackpool, at the end of the day, will be scratching their heads as to how they didn't come away with all 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't a lot, to be fair, going on in the game before the goal.
No.
All of a sudden, the game just exploded into life. You know, Brighton scored, and then Blackpool, I thought he summed it up perfectly. He showed real quality, real character to come back into the game. Quality of ball into the box was fantastic, and this is against a really resilient Brighton side. I looked at Brighton today and I just thought they've just slightly tinkered and changed the way, the emphasis on the way that they play, because I look at the midfield and it's Buckley, who can play a little bit, but then you've got Hammond, you've got Cross, you've got Brigcutter, who are all players who are renowned for their defensive qualities.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of an emphasis change.
Bit of
on
steel
the way,
there,
a little bit of resilience, and that's why they've only conceded 9 so far.
And it's by far the Championship's best defence. They found themselves ahead as well, didn't they? And it was very much against the run of play.
Yeah, I mean, this sort of thing, I mean, we've seen this a few times with Blackpool, where they, as you say, they shoot themselves in the foot. You know, they're their own worst enemies with regard to, they can clear that. You know, that Broadfoot has a chance to clear it, and obviously the keeper, Gilks, I think needs to dominate that situation and come and get it. But they don't, and they get punished. And all of a sudden, then the game changes.
It's been a familiar story for Blackpool, hasn't it? They've created numerous chances in many games. It's just that failure. I suppose they missed that clinical edge of Kevin Phillips.
Well, that's the difference between this year and last year, is that they're not finishing those chances. I mean, we saw time and time again there was some great movement. They got in behind the defence. We've said that Brighton are good, you know, defensively been very good. Craney puts the ball in there. It's great defensive play by Albion, and they did that time and time again. But sheer weight of quality going into that box, finally told. That's a great ball when you look at it from Phillips. And Grandin gets in between the two centre-halves. It's a fine finish. But it was a reward for some really, really good quality ball that went into the box.
OK, and do you expect Ollie to try and add to his ranks, to try and add that clinical edge?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, as we said, I mean, that's basically all that's missing, certainly on the evidence of what we saw today.
OK.